What's going on, Master Duel fans? James here again. If you're watching this, the current season has officially over, and it's deck profile for you guys, along with the latest replays before the new season is going to be initiated. So 2 replays that we are going to watch after this deck profile. Vernusylph, Naturia, Traptrix. Now, moving forward with some straight up suggestions based off from this unique concoction list TCG style of Vernusylph Naturia Traptrix. Moving forward is that one of those 2 copies of Sunflower, after testing, this is going to be a 1-up Sunflower, knowing that this card won't do anything by itself, because hence why its monster negate requires another monster for it to have it to work. But otherwise, one of the 2 extra Sunflowers is going to be 1 Sunflower now, because you got too many ways to reborn EARTHs in general. Vernusylphs can reborn Naturias, Traptrix. Naturia Blessing can reborn any Naturias, and then you got so much ways to put up so much pressure for EARTHs. So otherwise, this was literally the only change, to be a 44 card deck by taking out one of the extra Sunflowers. But otherwise, deck profile for you guys: Vernusylph, Naturia, Traptrix. 1 Vayne, 2 Cricket. Normally you play 3, but because it's EARTH Tri-Fecta, it's 2 Cricket. The 2 Sunflower, there are lines where if for whatever the reason your first copy of Sunflower gets called by DD Crow, or even unable to bring the card back off from being ghost spelled, you always have an extra copy of Sunflower to back you up. The 1 Horn Needle card is a Stone Cold Killer. 3 Naturia Camellia, Bamboo Shoot. Specifically, in Genesis in general, this card needs to get way over 50 points. It has to go. Like, locking your opponent out from spells and traps is just not okay. Especially if, for whatever the reason, Bamboo Shoot gets outed the first time, you go Vernusylph Rabbit to pick up Bamboo Shoot, reborn any Naturia, and then tribute summon the same Bamboo Shoot, and they still can't use spells and traps. 3 Naturia Blessing, and 1 Tree. In TCG, to be specific, card's dumb. It's at 1 for a reason, because of the graveyard effect. The on-field effect of Sacred Tree literally never comes up, but the idea is that if you are unable to maintain control of your Traptrix pile, or even have Goalkeep Hole on your board, you could just tribute the EARTH inset, to be specific, transition into Naturia Camellia, so that way you want to maintain control of the Naturias. Otherwise, it's like, if you're unable to maintain control of EARTH plants in general, you can just transition the EARTH plants into Naturia Mole Cricket, so that way you want to be super reactive to your opponent's moves as possible. Oh, I know what's up with the changes is going to be. So moving forward, it's going to be 1 Sunflower, the 3rd Cricket, and then the Camellias, we play like at least 2, because like it's like one of those increasing chances to see the card, but at the same time, it's where like I want to see different engines that can actually work together, so that way I wanted to like reduce clog by any means. So again, that's your Naturia pile, and then Traptrix pile. you got the one Myrmilio. You don't ever usually normal summon as much anymore, unless for whatever the reason you have awkward lines to open with normal traps. This is where Myrmilio can fetch you the Holotea, and you're able to make your Traptrix plays so much linear from the get-go. The two Dionea, two Mantis, Vesiculo, Arachnocampa, and then the whole normal traps being Time Space, Floodgate, straight up Solves as a one-of, and the two Holotea. For everybody else, the reason why I play one copy of Time Space and Floodgate to be specific is because Vesiculo's graveyard effect if you happen to have no back row. Otherwise, Dionea's special summon effect enables to reset button a whole normal trap. So basically, you're essentially playing extra copies of Time Space and or Floodgates. Hence why I only play one, to make sure I play extra copies of those cards because of these two. And then Vernusylphs, Flowering Fields, Thawing Mountains, Misting Ceilings, only one to be specific, Earth Fairy Enjoyers in general, play Tuitus. Flourishing Hills, Awakening Forest, Vera Vernusylph Goddess. This card comes up a few times in terms of mind control, and then the 5 or more Earths to negate something. That ability can come up like a good few times, which is amazing. Full Bloom, Corolla, Changing Seasons, Flower Buds. And then as for the rest, non-engine, I guess. Goki Pole. The idea with Goki Pole is that if you have a Vernusylph monster, lower level Vernusylph for the discard, along with this card, it's basically your opponent has to waste so much hand traps to stop both at the same time. Whether if it's Ash, Purge, Impulse, courtesy of the Vernusylphs, and many more to it. So basically, Vernusylph, the lower level discard effects, plus Goki Pole, make a choice. So Goki Pole, as mentioned, Feather Duster, Talent Thrust, 2 Forbidden Chalice, Blizzard, and then the rest is hand traps, 3 to be precise. The one Bell, she's an Earth, and she's a tuner, so it facilitates your Naturia synchros or any other Earth synchros as much as you can. And then the 2 Imperm, not 3 because space. Plus, you definitely don't want to lose 2 talents and or thrust. Extra deck, Armades, the only non-Earth monster. Even though this card is in the extra deck, if there was ever a card that I was going to switch out for Armades, it's Samurai Destroyer, because Samurai Destroyer happens to be an Earth, and even if I were to switch out Armades for Samurai Destroyer, both of these cards have similar effects about unable to activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. But the difference is that instead of Armades, Samurai Destroyer can be reborn, not just off from its own effects, but Vernusylphs as well to back it up. So instead of Armades, this is supposed to be Samurai Destroyer. But otherwise, the extra deck in terms of Vernusylph, Naturia, Traptrix, is just extremely solid. Beast, Barkion, Landois, pretty basic. Goyo Guardian, HTS Sihemith. Card is amazing because anything they put up with that can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects, It's basically Behemoth can outright put pressure on your opponent's strongest monster. Scrap Dragon for more mass removal, especially the lower level Vernusylph discard effects with the Reborn of any Earth, makes it so that Scrap Dragon as an old card gains more mass removal. Leo, and then the Traptrix being Rafflesia, Alamaris, Pinguicula, Sarah, Colaria, Adipus, and then the real people killer, Drill Driver. Because, pierce battle damage. And with that being said, let us get into these duels for the final time. And with this hand going first, it's basically make a choice between Naturia or Traptrix to start with. Real normal Camellia, Ashing the Camellia, and one set. Pressure Planet, so Cash Tier Lines, Free Special Unicorn, Getting Birth, Real normal Ecclesia, by the way, Glossed out Unicorn, Glossed out Ecclesia, Getting Fleur de Lis, Ecclesia over Camellia, Unicorn, Extra Deck Ripping Beast, Set, Birth, Holotea, Impasse, Duster, Punishment on Holotea, on Garura, hits, Imperm. Garura draw one, Real normal Myrmelio getting Holotea, Unicorn, Extra Deck Ripping Sarah, Myrmelio over Ecclesia, set one, Impasse. BLS Envoy of the Beginning in 2025. Let me just say this again, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't think the people in the back heard me. BLS Envoy of the Beginning in 2025. If anyone remembers the set Invasion of Chaos, BLS Envoy of the Beginning is one of them. Must first be special by banishing a light and a dark from graveyard, basic. Once per turn, you can activate one of those effects. Either A, target one monster anywhere on the field, banish it. It can't attack during the turn it's triggered, or B, if this attacking card kills an opponent's monster by battle, it gets to make a second attack in a row. Wow, flashback classics. ELS over Myrmelio, 3000. Unicorn, Extra Deck Ripping. Oh, and Holotea, bring back Myrmelio. Extra Deck Ripping Alamaris. Mandatory. Kill off the Myrmelio. Impasse. Top decks Vesiculo. Sending Holotea. Special. Unicorn Extra Deck Ripping Pinguicula. Holotea. Bring back Myrmelio. Mandatory Fet. Tribute Summoning Vera, taking BLS, who is now an Earth. Attacking Unicorn. Attack again. Vera. Impasse. Real normal Evening Twilight Night. And that is Scoop Phase for Cashtira Dogmatica. Anniversary Blue Eyes, 2 Maxi, one of which is Royal, 3 Diviner of the Herald, 3 Ash, 2 of which are Alt Arts, 2 Beginning Nights, 2 Evening Twilight Nights, 2 Ecclesia, one of which is glossed out, Cashtira Fenrir, 2 Unicorn, one of which is glossed out, BLS Envoy at the Beginning, Dogmatica Fleur de Lis, Dogmatica Maximus, Nibiru, Traps, 3 Imperm, Dogmatica Punishment, Spell Lineup, Harpies Feather Duster, Rhoda, 2 Nadir Servant, Tactics Talent, 3 Gateway to Chaos, 2 Ultimate Fuse, Cashtira Birth, Pressure Planet, Super Soldier Ritual, and 2 Super Soldier Synthesis for the 2 BLS Ritual monsters, being BLS Super Soldier as well as BLS Legendary Swordsman. Extra that consists of Antis, Garura, Titani Clad. If you're wondering about the toss out or from Titani Clad, that would be Punishment and or Nadir Servant. And if you're wondering what Dogmatica cards out of this when it comes to Titani Clad's graveyard effect, it's Ecclesia and Fleur de Lis. And Maximus as well, because if I recall about Titani Clad, Dogmatica monster in general, so yeah, it's accurate. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Dragon Master Magia, Herald, Baron, Chang Ying, both Baron, Chang Ying, glossed out, Red Eyes Flare Metal, Mariologic Aggregator, Typhon, Salamangreat Almirage, Azalea, SP, BLS Link. And then that grass pile of Cashtira, Fiendsmith, Tearlament, 1 Lurie, Droll, 2 Maxi, Droll glossed out, Maxi glossed out, one of the 2 copies, King of the Swamp, Ghost Ogre, 3 Ash, Tearlament's Halfness, Trick Clown, Fairy Tale Snow, 3 Supreme Seamare, 2 Sharon, 3 Reinoheart, Lacrima Chick, Molcharmy Fuelos, Shaddoll Beast, 2 Fiendsmith Engraver, Deshudo, Cashtira Fenrir, Tier Cash, Nibiru, Traps First, 2 Imperm, Ghost Meets Girl, a masterful Mayakashi Shiranui saga. If you're wondering about how to get its actual effect going without its actual cost, Transaction Rollback gets it going. Don't want to roll back, by the way. Tearlament's Meta Noise, Tribute Karma, Tearlament's Crime, Tearlament's Soliac. Spells, Rhoda, 3 Reasoning, Foolish Goods, That Grass Looks Greener, 1 slash draw. Okay, so no slash draw potential of destruction bonus, but I'm pretty much guessing is to fix the cards in your deck so that way you don't want to see the ones being that are bricks and you're able to modify the deck in terms of the slash draw fixtures. 2 Tactics Talent, 2 Tearlament's Grief, Thrust, Glossed Out Tract, Pressure Planet, 3 Tear Scream, 2 Super Poly, one of which is glossed out, Call By, Royal Crossout Designator, good catch, Tearlament's Heartbeat. Extra that consists of Typhon, the only XZ, Lynx, Fiendsmith's Requiem, Sequence, Agnum Day, Glossed Out, and any other Fiendsmith being the fusion of Desiree. No Lacrima fusion, strangely enough. And then as for the Tearlaments, Kaleido Heart, Glossed Out copies of Rucolos, Kidcolos, and then Super Poly targets being Predator and Dragos Depelia, Garura, Muddragon, El Shaddai Winda. If you're wondering about that, Shaddai Beast is in the list, which makes sense. Same goes for, I was going to say King of the Swamp, but it's like technically it's just literally any monster in general. So I wouldn't put it past King of the Swamp unless it has to be like the actual correct materials for that. And then Baron Chaos Angel, for which, by the way, about Chaos Angel against me in this match, to be specific, I have real outs. It's going to take some serious time dealing with that Chaos Angel nuisance from my opponent's side of the field. With that being said, let us get to you guys the reason why I was having a tough time with that Chaos Angel, but was managed to out it. And with this hand going second, not so much. Simplified game state. Chaos Angel with both lights. Now, if it was Chaos Angel with a light and a dark at the same time, then this is where I'm going to have a serious tough time outing Chaos Angel based off from this deck. But because it's both lights, I have real outs. It's going to take some serious time throughout the whole entire duel. And 3 set, oh boy. Awakening Force, discard Bamboo Shoot, Rucolos negate, Thrust, Talent, Soliek. In this position about who to take, SP wouldn't do no good because if I don't do anything with it, it'll come right back to my opponent. Same with Chaos Angel. Even if I were to take the card based off from the link requirements, it has to be the exact types listed or else it wouldn't work the way it's supposed to be off from Caleria. So I figured, why not take Tear Shiren because she's a level 4. Real normal. The Traptrix Dynea, Soliek, negate Shiren, I do not know why. Rucolos, bring it back. Shiren over SP. XZ Shoken into Pinguicula. Detach for Vesiculo. Set Vesiculo. Having the set Holotea engraved to special itself, and then Holotea bring back Dionea. XZ into Traptrix for Flasia, and one set. Tear Scream. Nope. Nope. Can't be killed by battle due to Traptrix Rafflesia. Soliek cannot be touched by traps while it has material. So nope. It wouldn't do you no good from there. Top decks Camellia. Tear Screen. Soliek. In this position about Sacred Tree, this is where the opponent has to make a choice. It's either A, negate the effect of Sacred Tree and kill the card off from Rukalos, and if you do that, you will give me a search off from Sacred Tree, or B, let the Sacred Tree go through for the sake of Naturia Cricket, and it makes it so that I'm able to E-Telly for 2. So, once again, this is where make a choice matters. You either negate the tree, kill it, and give me a free search, or you will let me get the Mole Cricket to E-Telly for 2 Naturias. And he chose to negate the tree, kill it, and give me a free search. So the Tear Screen mills being Reinoheart, Super Poly, and Foolos. And then the Foolish off from Camellia will be Mole Cricket. Tree, Pinguicula, having Rukalos as material, getting Blessing, activated for Mole Cricket, Tribute, E-Telly for 2, Naturias. Also, that play would have never made a difference. XZ into Traptrix Allomeris, Reborn Camellia, Allomeris go up into Drill Driver, and pass. Top deck Supreme Seamare, Camellia to Reborn, Reborn Horn Needle, toss out Sharon, Pinguicula, absorb Sharon as material. Nope, can't be killed by battle due to Rafflesia. Seamare over Camellia, smart to take it out. To attack it goes, Pinguicula over Seamare. Big brain play is to crash. Drill Driver, Reborn Cricket, Mole Cricket, Tribute, E-Telly for 2 Naturia, Camellia toss out Vayne, Naturia Barkion, Mole Cricket, to defense, Horn Needle goes, Pinguicula for Mantis, and pass. Mole Cricket, Tribute, lost out Max C top deck. Heartbeat, shuffled the dead or unknown back row, discarded the top deck Trivi Karma. So a spell trap that mentions Visa Starfrost to search was the case. Tearlament's Crime. Good catch. Chaos Angel over Naturia Barkion, and a set / dead tier crime because no tier monster. Simplified state. 1,800 life left. Also, in this game, I think I opted not to Feather Duster because if we dare destroy those spells and traps, these tier limit spells and traps will enable to trigger to get their cards going. So Scream, get a tier trap from deck to hand. Sulliek, this lets you get a tier monster from deck to hand, and if I were to kill the crime, add one banished tier monster from deck to hand. So in most cases, we are actually going to hold on to that Feather Duster throughout the whole entire game, knowing that these tier cards are out on board and we definitely do not want them to gain the advantage. $100 life left and one set. Real normal ghost spell. Synchro into Naturia Landois. Holotea. Free special. And now that we got a normal trap in the graveyard, it makes it so that Adipus enables all Traptrix monsters to gain 1,000 attack for that matter. And because Traptrix Rafflesia exists, it makes it so that, again, no Traptrix monster outside of Rafflesia cannot be targeted or killed off from opponent's cards or by battle. All Traptrix to attack, and Parm cannot be touched by traps. What are you doing? And Earth Good Stuff officially outed Chaos Angel, and that is the end of the game. So guys, that's going to do it for the end of this current season. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and hit that notification bell to keep yourself constantly updated. And we'll catch you guys next season.